Hello, and welcome to the episode of GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, your boy, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every night whenever you get a chance. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show. We are live at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, dramas, and we talk about superstar and active statuses, injury updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings from promotions like AEW to WWE, to New Japan Professional Wrestling, to Stardom, to GCW. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we are all ears here, and we're going to give you the hottest breaking news in the world. So make sure you guys smash that like and subscribe button. Maybe even share it to a friend or two who share the same passion of professional wrestling like you and me. So, hope you guys had a great weekend. You know, it was a decent weekend this week. Obviously, those who do love the NFL, it was a grueling couple of weeks, you know. But we got down to the final two teams going to the Super Bowl 59. We got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. One quick little fact, I got to be honest. I was a little upset because, when the Washington Commanders shockingly beat the Detroit Lions, because I was kind of banking on the Lions-Chiefs Super Bowl. Like, we're all wrestling fans here. We, that Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns. You have the babyface, which would have been the Detroit Lions, and then you have the heel, Patrick Mahomes, leading the Kansas City Chiefs to their three-peat. I was kind of banking on that. I kind of wanted that. That's what I wanted the most. And then the Washington Commanders came out of nowhere to beat them, and the moment they beat them, I was like, all right, good. But they better freaking beat the Eagles. Other than that, it's like, why beat the Lions? Because the Lions would have easily beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, that's my opinion. You guys don't have to share the same opinion. But, I don't know. I hated it. I was like, dude, the Commanders win. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. The underdog wins and that, so to speak. So it's cool. You know what I mean? But, you just win a shocking match against one of the best teams in the NFC just to lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, are you serious? That's... And now we have a rematch of the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 59, which is okay. It's going to be a good match, but I feel like if the Eagles lose, I'm going to be even more upset because I'm like, damn, I feel like these Lions could ultimately dethrone Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. But, it is what it is. We have it in 2 weeks. I don't know if any of you guys are super fans of the Pro Bowl games, with the dodgeball and the target test. I dig it. The quarterback skills drill, I think it's pretty badass. So I'm definitely going to be watching that next week along with the Royal Rumble. But, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into our wrestling content that we have here. Our first segment, we're going to talk about some AEW Dynamite. We're going to we're going to review it. And then we're going to talk about some Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk about it, like a little bit of a sneak peek kind of preview. My predictions of what's going to happen tonight. Obviously, it's already aired on the East Coast through Netflix, but I have not checked a single shred of social media. No TikTok, no Instagram, no Facebook, no nothing. So I'm going in absolutely blind, so a lot of these takes might be viewed as genius, or they might be viewed as, this guy's not really a wrestling fan. We're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about the Wyatt Sicks. The Wyatt Sicks recently have been kind of written off of television, kind of killing the momentum that they had with their Raw debut. It was spectacular, and then losing up against the Final Testament. So we're going to talk about the future of the Wyatt Sicks. Why exactly have they been off WWE? Why did they go to SmackDown? And what's the future for them heading forward? And in our fourth and fifth segment, we're going to talk about wrestling power rankings. Of course, at first, we're going to talk about the men's top 10, and then we have the women's top 10. Kind of like, we have the top 10 men and women that, kind of finished December 2024 on a high note and is going toward a deep run with their success heading toward January of 2025. So, some of these, wrestling power rankings might be like, oh, that person looked like, they peaked in 2024. But overall, I feel like this is going to be like a performance that they had in 2024 and heading into 2025. The accomplishments that they have right now set the scale, what they're kind of looking forward to in the horizon of their careers. So we're going to talk about that. But before we do any of that, I just just want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link, whether if you got a burning question or hot take in terms of the world of professional wrestling here at the GSMC Sports Network. We want you guys to make sure you guys know that we are all ears. So if you're dying to get something off your chest, make sure you type that in that chat. Obviously, this podcast is all about keeping the conversation going, making the party lively. So you guys' chats obviously brings that up to a T. Don't be shy, drop your thoughts inside that chat. Do not forget, and if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed on this show, go ahead and hit up that $sign right there. Anything you put inside that little chat box is going to be featured on the show 1,010%. So why not do it? Just give it a little hit. Plus, it's a great way to keep a lot of these amazing podcasts that we have here on the network alive. We cannot give you guys awesome sports content every day without a little bit of, it's like you guys benefit, we benefit, a nice little back and forth beneficial relationship we have here at the GSMC Sports Network. So make sure you guys, hit up that tips and donations link. It's highly appreciated, and we are super grateful already. I'm giving you guys a thank you in advance for each and every one of you guys who joins us here on the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's get this party started. Send in those super chats to those super stickers because you guys are super awesome, and together we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. But of course, if the super chat not your thing, it's all good in the neighborhood. Don't be shy. Go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show. Follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1,010%. But of course, in terms of talking sports, it's all good. Criticisms do arrive. Some disagreements are going to happen. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat, no matter what it says, no matter how, if you think it might be stupid to bring up, there's no such thing as a dumb comment. No such thing. Would love to hear from you guys. All right, without further ado, let's go and talk about some AEW Dynamite. The episode was decent. It was every single time I do these reviews, if it's SmackDown, Raw, Dynamite, PLEs, it doesn't really matter. I usually go like, oh, it's pretty good. But this one kind of, it felt like maybe it could have had a little bit of a spark or two. And not that it didn't, but I feel like the sparks that they gave us, it was kind of like we already kind of knew that was going to happen. But let's go and start out. We got Will Ospreay coming out, and then Kenny Omega with Tony Schiavone, obviously kind of airing out some dirty laundry, meat in the middle of the ring. Will Ospreay told, Kenny Omega, he was like, you know what, bruv, I don't remember the last time I saw you in this ring other than us exchanging blows, right hand by right hand, left hand by left hand, headbutts, kicks to the abdomen. And Kenny Omega straight up said, you know what, the last time we met, dude, it was at Forbidden Door. It was at Forbidden Door, and you were shoving a screwdriver in my forehead, trying to prove yourself to the Don Callis family. Obviously, he said there's no chance in hell that he would never ever trust Will Ospreay, and he was even given that bruv. He was like, I can never ever trust you. Don Callis comes out, obviously adding fuel to the fire. Kenny Omega comes out, he takes the bait, then he's ramped up. He's taken down by Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. I almost said David Fletcher. But those who are Angels fans, you know who David Fletcher is. But Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita of the Don Callis family start taking out Kenny Omega. Will Ospreay's kind of stuck in the ring. He's like, you know what, this guy literally cut a promo right in front of my face stating that I'm not a worthy competitor. I only got the spotlight because he was injured. Now that he's back, you got to take a back seat because you are number 2 and I am number 1. So if I was Will Ospreay, it would have been, obviously you kind of saw him in the ring. He had that intermoral turmoil. He was like, should I do it? Should I stay? Should I go? What do I want to do? He went out there and he started helping Kenny Omega at the end of the bout, or at the end of the brawl that broke out for like a hardcore 10, 15 minutes. It was kind of crazy. I thought, I thought they let that. I thought AEW kind of let that go on for, a little bit more than I thought they were going to break it up. But Kenny Omega and Ospreay obviously look like they're on the same page. Kenny Omega, he has a huge connection with AEW fans. Once again, I do love the fact that AEW has downgraded to smaller auditoriums, to smaller venues. I feel like it's perfect. This is something that you need right now, and I know it's not like the, Staples Center. Well, it's not the Staples Center anymore right now. It's the Crypto.com Arena. But, Staples Center, Airlines Arena, you're not going to sell out arenas anymore. And I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It might be a smaller seat capacity, but at the end of the day, you're going to get more viewers. And the crowd on AEW Dynamite, they made it pop. They really honestly did. And I thought it was super cool. And I did recognize the guy wearing the Sting makeup in the front row. I thought that was pretty badass. I thought that was super cool. I love the fact that Kenny Omega is back in AEW, and that's why I feel like AEW will ultimately have a huge 2025. That's the whole reason why I'm like, if Ricky Starks is causing drama, if Rey Fenix is causing drama, if Britt Baker, dude, if it gets to the point where, sometimes just let him go. Just let him go. You don't need that negative aspect. You don't need that negative rep surrounding the company, especially on social media right now. You got these Twitter trolls waiting for one of these superstars to be like, I hate it here in AEW, and everybody's like, oh, Tony Khan sucks, AEW sucks, AEW's gonna fail, AEW is WCW, but that's not how it is. That's not, so right now if I was Tony Khan, I'd be like, you know what, it's, fresh start, what's the classic New Year's slogan? It's like New Year, New Me, but at the same time, it's not really New Year, New Me if you're making the same mistakes over and over again. But, overall, like I said, I do love the smaller venue. I definitely love that. At the end of it, you saw Kenny Omega kind of apologizing to Will Ospreay, be like, you know what? Maybe I was acting like an asshole. Maybe it was just me. Maybe we do have a chance to kind of sweep it all under the rug and take down this family that Will Ospreay, you helped build, and Kenny Omega, I'm suffering because these guys are on top. So, I love the build up. I do love the build up. I love the connection of the fans. You have the aerial assassin and Kenny Omega, one of the best wrestlers in the world of professional wrestling, tag teaming up, going to AEW Grand Slam Australia, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Next, we have the Hurt Syndicate defeating Private Party. There's nothing more to say about this match, but Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin once again show that they're dominant. It makes me believe that it was like, when Private Party dethroned the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, for the AEW World Tag Team titles, I thought it was cool. I thought it was awesome. I was like, a tag team that's been around AEW since the get-go back in 2019/18. They deserve it. They deserve the attention, especially if Matthew and Nicholas Jackson be like, we're going to spend some time in New Japan Professional Wrestling. Bye. We're going to go ahead and drop this storyline that's been going around with Kazuchika Okada and, the scapegoat of Jack Perry. They're like, we're going to let go of every single one of those storylines, and then we're going to move on. And, they're like, okay, who do we put the tag team titles on? They gave it to a veteran team, which was Private Party. And now you have, they were just beaten senseless. And it gets to the point where, yeah, they were beaten senseless. Was it senseless to even have them go up against the Hurt Syndicate? The Hurt Syndicate is on fire, 1,010%. Couldn't they defeated Matthew and Nicholas Jackson? Why do they have to protect the EVPs to come? What is it, like credibility or something like that? I don't think it's like a PP showing contest or anything like that. But I'm not trying to trash AEW once again. The reason why Cody Rhodes and CM Punk left that company was because, a lot of people had a little bit of a say-so, maybe too much of a say-so. Whether if it's Tony Khan, Matthew Nicholas Jackson, I don't really think it would be like a Kenny Omega kind of thing. I did know, I've heard, according to reports that he was backstage, according to a lot of creative plans that AEW was kind of going through, but I don't know. I just, I feel bad for Private Party. And Private Party, I'm pretty sure they don't really give an F, because it's like, we won the tag team titles. We're still here. We've won them on a couple of numerous occasions, but then again, it doesn't really come to fruition. They don't really have a legacy standpoint in terms of AEW. Of course, they've been there since the beginning. So if they have like a royalty club or like a legends thing, they would probably definitely be on there. So the Hurt Syndicate become the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. I'm not in love with it. Definitely am not in love with it. But it is what it is. Mariah May talks about being disrespected as AEW World Women's Champion. And then you have Toni Storm and Harley Cameron. I gotta be honest, I do love their chemistry that they do have together right now. Toni Storm not really embracing in that timeless Toni Storm concept, but I think she ultimately kind of reprimanded it back in Saturday Night's Collision. I read according to reports. But Mariah May as AEW World Women's Championship holder, I don't really hold her accountable for bad storytelling or bad creative writing or anything like that, because I feel like she is an amazing superstar. She is a tremendous competitor inside that ring. But it's just, she cuts decent promos. She cuts decent promos, but then that could also, depend on a lot of the character that she has there. The glamour of Mariah May going up against timeless Toni Storm, who's been, absolutely electric. And I'm not saying Mariah May doesn't know how to put on a good wrestling match, but if you're gonna put the title on somebody, I would rather prefer Toni Storm. And I'm not trying to rub any AEW heads the wrong way, but I don't know. I do love Mariah May. I feel like she's great. She's great. She's great. But at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? I did kind of like Toni Storm's reign a little bit more better. I feel like in the women's division on AEW kind of made it a little bit more prominent, but it should find out. We should find out what happens at AEW Grand Slam Australia if Mariah May loses against Toni Storm. We have Jeff Jarrett calling out MJF. Not really working out. Then he calls out the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley. Claudio Castagnoli comes out of the Death Riders and kind of sets him straight. He's like, no one gets to Jon Moxley without getting through me first. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's interesting. So right now, Jeff Jarrett seems like he's fighting a battle with two fronts, MJF and also the Death Riders. Swerve Strickland comes out, defeats AR Fox. You had that nice gentleman's handshake at the end of the match. Ricochet was backstage holding scissors to the neck of Prince Nana. So, I think I heard Tony Schiavone. Or no. I think it was Excalibur. He was like, Ricochet wants Swerve Strickland to know that scissors always break, always break rock or paper, or always beats paper. And I don't know, I thought that was kind of crazy because of the whole, throwing toilet paper and stuff like that. Like, I get it, I know why they did it, but I just thought that was kind of a funny promo. I was like, how could you make Ricochet look even more badass? Oh, you know what? On the mic, I'm just gonna be like, oh, Ricochet knows that scissors always cuts paper. Like, I was like, okay, but it was cool. Excalibur, he's cool. He's cool. All right, so we have MJF addressing Jeff Jarrett, and then after that you had Hangman Adam Page in a smash match. Not really sure why they kind of had that spot. Christopher Daniels comes out to talk to Hangman Adam Page, basically apologizing, being like, hey, that Texas death match was my last match. I was told by doctors that I will never, ever, ever wrestle again. And you can see Hangman Adam Page a little conflicted. I feel like if Hangman could kind of jump into that babyface role, it wouldn't really be much of a surprise to the fans. I feel like it'd be great because it seems like every spot he's in, he's not really trying to be like a POS bad guy, with the whole Swerve Strickland thing. He lit his house on fire. Yeah, I get it. But, their feud back in the day, you saw Swerve kind of infiltrate Hangman Adam Page's house as well. So, I don't think Hangman Adam Page is really much of a bad guy, and I feel like the fans do love it when he comes out. If they kind of find a way to revamp his character and have him be a babyface, I feel like AEW would be in a better position than it is now. But, Hangman Adam Page seems obviously conflicted. And Mercedes Moné seen backstage holding all the gold. Harley Cameron, what about that, guys? She's insanely talented. She came in with the guitar. Then she was, doing some great, little actresses, with, personalities and facial gestures. And I gotta be honest, I had no idea she had that in her. I don't know why. I felt like that was one of the main things that happened on AEW Dynamite tonight. But it was a good episode. Like I said, it was a good episode. She looked like a freaking damn Disney star, singing and dancing. I don't know. I never really had Harley Cameron on my radar, and maybe it's just because I'm like a geek or anything, something like that. But I think she's talented as hell. I thought that was, her song to Mercedes Moné was actually pretty badass. Obviously, Mercedes Moné gets the last laugh, trashing the reputation that Cameron has in terms of matches on AEW. Jamie Hayter defeats Julia Hart in a one-on. No, she evens it. Now it's one-on-one. It was a great match. Jamie Hayter gives Julia Hart respect and also advice. Cope is able to defeat the Bastard Pack, but at the end of the day, you had Rated FTR taken out in the backstage. Obviously, the Rock and Roll Express as well. The Death Riders come out to attack Cope. Also, Switchblade Jay White tries to pay dividends, tries to even the odds, but it is not enough to take down Wheeler Yuta, the Bastard Pack, John Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli, and of course Marina Shafir as well. Don't want to leave her name out of it. Like I said, it was a good episode of Dynamite. I liked it. I did feel like it was, at sometimes the pop factor of it. I feel like, having Kenny Omega start the show, I like it. I definitely do 1,010%. But, out of 10 stars, I'll give it like a 6.5. All right, guys, so we do not go anywhere. We're going to talk about some WWE Monday Night Raw. Like I said, it is already aired on the East Coast. And I am well aware of that. I have not checked a single shred of social media. No TikTok, no Instagram, no Facebook, no nothing like that. So I'm going in like you guys absolutely blind, which is cool. I definitely hate. I would never ever watch an episode of Monday Night Raw and be like, oh, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't watch it and I don't know the results. So we're gonna dive into that. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 25 seconds. So hey, do not go absolutely anywhere.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Alright, and we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on the GSMC Sports Network and the YouTube GSMC Podcasting Network at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, dramas, and updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings, superstar inactive statuses, and injury updates. We talk about promotions like New Japan Professional Wrestling, to the GCW, to Deathlock Professional Wrestling, to the NWA. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this podcast, 1,010%. So don't forget to Superman punch that, like and subscribe button to the show, follow thy network. All right, let's go ahead and jump on to our next segment, some WWE Monday Night Raw. Obviously, before we get into any of that, whether if you got a burning question or a hot take in terms of the world of professional wrestling, here at the GSMC Sports Network, we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity. But of course, it's all good. Go ahead and drop your thoughts, share whatever you have on your chest. Doesn't have to be good, doesn't have to be bad. Whatever you feel. However it makes you enjoy the podcast more. However, you want to have fun. talking to the greatest wrestling podcaster in the world right now, ranked. I'm just kidding. No, I wish. That'd be pretty badass. The self-proclaimed tribal chief of wrestling podcasting. I'm just kidding. No, that'd be pretty cool though. So if you, sorry, excuse me, I thought that was actually pretty funny. I'm laughing at my own jokes. How lame is that? Moving on. So don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed on air, why not use that super chat? Go ahead and hit up that $sign right there, which guarantees anything you guys put inside that little chat box is going to be talked about. It's going to be debated about, maybe even take place of a segment on this show, 1,010%. So don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. There's no such thing as a bad comment, as a stupid comment. I want to make sure you guys feel absolutely 1,010% comfortable of getting whatever you want off your chest. So yeah, we're all family, so we can keep bringing you guys all the content that you guys love so damn much. This obviously donating helps GSMC Sports Network, immensely, so we can keep all these amazing podcasts with all these amazing, gifted, talented, passionate podcasters, that have one goal in mind: to make sure you guys consume all the amazing sports content that you guys love to gobble up every day of the week. So don't forget to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the GSMC Sports Network. We are super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. So go ahead and send in those super chats, send in those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome, and together we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Once again, at the GSMC, if the super chat not your thing, go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link at the gsmcpodcast.net. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1,010%. But in terms of talking sports, it's inevitable. There's going to be some disagreements. There's going to be some criticisms. Guess what, guys? It's all good. It's already water on the bridge. I'm not even worried about it. It's all gravy, baby. Don't even worry about it. Make sure you guys feel absolutely comfortable to share whatever you want to share. All right, without further ado, we got some WWE Monday Night Raw preview, a little bit of a Monday Night Raw talk. So we got Sami Zayn taking on Drew McIntyre. This is a nice little run back. They had a match at WWE Saturday night's main event I think it was December 25th. Of 2024. If I hit that date right on the head, I gotta be honest, I'm gonna be super proud of myself. I'd be like, you know what, maybe up here is not too banked out, so much more than I thought it was. We got a WWE World Tag Team Championship match. We got JD McDonough and Dirty Dominic Mysterio representing the Judgment Day. It's kind of crazy, as I said. I totally went brain neutral there. Taking on the World Tag Team Champions, the War Raiders. The War Raiders are going to win. I really don't see this. I don't really see this faction going anywhere. Really, it's going to be interesting to find out, what they decide to do, and I'm going to get into it a little later in this segment without Damian Priest, so we'll save it. We got Bianca Belair teaming up with Naomi, taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I feel like Liv and Raquel are probably in line of becoming the new Women's World Tag Team Champions. There's been speculations that Bianca Belair will meet Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 41, but obviously all speculations, all rumors and stuff like that according to reports. But what's gonna go on with Jade? What's going on with Jade Cargill? With Naomi kind of seeming a little bit poised. She was not in the picture once when Cargill was attacked and thrown upon and broke that broken windshield. Bianca Belair actually, she left her match for her chance to become the inaugural WWE Women's United States Champion. So at this point, I would kind of think like there would be really no reason. It'd be kind of stupid to have Bianca Belair walk away from a match because, if she didn't really give an F about it, she'd be like, okay, I'm going to try to become a singles champion. You know what I mean? So the only thing that really makes sense is probably Naomi. Maybe they have a feud heading toward the future. I ultimately feel like by WrestleMania, Bianca Belair and Naomi should drop the titles. I do. You have all these other, tag teams out there like Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. You have the Unholy Union. You got Damage Control. You have the Pure Fusion Collective, Last Legend. and Jakar Jackson. You have all these amazing, and recently Roxanne Perez, the former WWE NXT Women's World Champion, teaming up with Cora Jade. There's a lot of no, that doesn't sound right. There's a lot more, damn it. There's a lot more suitable, there we go. I think that's the right word. There's a lot more suitable women tag teams that could help bring the title to new heights. Like, you have the star power of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Now you have Bianca Belair and Naomi. So it's cool. It's cool. It's cool if they would have never introduced the WWE Women's United States Championship or the Intercontinental Championship. I feel like, the addition of those belts changes the game 1,010%. So at this point, you kind of got to let these other girls kind of achieve greatness. Why not let them try? Why not let them try to get a bone or two? Why not throw them a bone? Who knows? Maybe they'll represent the tag team title super great. We got Logan Paul returning to WWE Monday Night Raw. My speculations are that he'll try to go after the Intercontinental Championship. We have to have him on WWE WrestleMania. He needs to wrestle a match at WrestleMania. I don't care what anybody says. He needs to fight at WrestleMania. He will probably, obviously, declare his entry in the Royal Rumble, but not that he's going to win it or anything like that. If he does win it, wild card, baby. But, it should be interesting to kind of find out, what happens with Logan Paul tonight on Monday Night Raw. Who's going to be Gunther's next opponent? I've kind of flirted with it a little bit. I think on Monday Night Raw, maybe they might have like a triple threat match, fatal 4-way, like a 6-man battle royal or something like that. And the winner takes on Gunther, and then Jey Uso gets a second shot. And I feel like he ultimately beats Gunther at the Royal Rumble for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Then you have Gunther all pissed off, and then you see him enter the Rumble. Then he's taken out by none other than Bill Goldberg. And then because Bill Goldberg is expecting his last match, and according to sources and according to himself, he was on the NFL a game day broadcast, basically saying, "Oh, my next victim is right here. He just doesn't even know it yet." And then it was Gunther. So, if you make the match a title match, I feel like it'd be kind of stupid. So you kind of have to have somebody take the belt off of Gunther. And the other person that really makes sense is the main event, Jey Uso. So I feel like that would be, kind of like a nice little storyline. Obviously, in my opinion, 1,010%. Who else will declare themselves inside the Royal Rumble? What's next for the Judgment Day? What's their new direction with Damian Priest gone? Sheamus' new direction as well is going to be unveiled tonight on Monday Night Raw. Braun Breaker's next challenger. We have A-Town Down Under recently being noted that they are going to be on WWE Monday Night Raw. Penta El Zero Miedo, what's he going to do? Is he going to challenge for the WWE Intercontinental Championship? I will not be against that. I feel like that'd be pretty awesome. Who will challenge Lyra Valkyria to try to take off that Women's World Intercontinental Championship? It's all going to be live. It's going to be live tonight on Raw, live on the WWE, but most importantly, live on Netflix. So make sure you guys, check that out, and share your comments. All right, our next segment we got, where are the Wyatt Sicks? Where are the Wyatt Sicks? What's going on with the Wyatt Sicks? We're going to talk about future storylines. Did WWE already kind of screw them over, already kind of break them? We're going to talk about that when we come back. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 20 seconds. So hey, do not go anywhere.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
All right, welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific to 11 p.m. Eastern Time here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, dramas, and updates. We talk about inactive statuses, injury updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings from promotions like AEW to WWE to New Japan Professional Wrestling to the GCW to Deathlock Professional Wrestling to the NWA to Stardom. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show, 1010%. So make sure you guys Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow thy network. All right, without further ado, we're going to talk about where are the Wyatt Sicks guys? Where are they? Obviously, guys, go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link, and don't be upset or don't be too intimidated on sending the chat, because there's no such thing as a bad chat. So 1010%. We'll love your guys' input on absolutely anything. All right, so where are the Wyatt Sicks? Being brutally honest, it sucks because I feel like WWE is kind of doing it bad. They've been off WWE television since losing to the Final Testament. And, for them losing, I got to be honest, I thought that was a huge red flag right off the bat. I didn't like the way it was going on. Obviously, Paul Ellery came back into the mix, the former manager of the Legion of Doom, now the manager of AOP. That seems like they had such a big impact, and now seems like they're not really doing anything. And, WWE had such a huge hype for this group, and I would hate, because I have so much respect for Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas and that whole family after all the hell that that they've been through. It would just be a damn shame that, it would just, kind of go up in flames. There's been rumors in terms of WWE that Bo Dallas will assume his own role on SmackDown, and then the family would probably come in a little bit later, which you can see it, but I feel like that would be kind of stupid. I heard the real reason why WWE is keeping the Wyatt Sicks a secret is because one of them is actually down with an injury, and all five of them are better together as opposed to, one of them kind of being apart. But then again, you kind of have this eerie, this stable that are based off of a lot of promotions, a lot of promos, a lot of ads, a lot of backstage videos and stuff like that. So there's no problem to be like, okay, what if for example, what if Joe Gacy is injured? He can still be on television, or he can still accompany Eric Rowan to the ring. So I was like, I don't know. I feel like the way that they kind of handled it, if they kind of go out with the last thing on Monday Night Raw, if they go out, be like, oh, the last thing you know about them is losing up against the Final Testament, I wouldn't really, really be happy about that whatsoever. I feel like WWE is ultimately wanting them all to kind of debut together, preferably before the WWE Royal Rumble. I feel like WWE is highly invested into that as well. Bo Dallas probably be in the Royal Rumble. I would hate, and I'm not trying to hate because I do love the Wyatt Sicks, I would hate if Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and who's the other guy? Dexter Lawrence. Is that a football player? Dexter Lumis. I was talking about a Giants player. Dexter Lumis. Having them all come separate in the Royal Rumble would be kind of stupid, unless they kind of help, Uncle Howdy kind of win into the whole damn thing. But if you don't have them debut on Monday night on SmackDown before the Royal Rumble, I feel like you kind of have to hold it to probably after. Have nobody, absolutely none of the faction members be in the Royal Rumble. But it should be interesting. Alexa Bliss has been reported to not be expected to joining the Wyatt Sicks anytime soon. And, it's not even, it's not like it's a bad thing. Alexa Bliss, she's been off of WWE for quite some time. She's going to come back to SmackDown. Will she even come back to SmackDown? I kind of feel like maybe she won't. Because you have so much talent, and especially with, You know, you have Nia Jax as well on the mic. And then, of course, you have Charlotte Flair that's going to be on WWE SmackDown. And she's going to be like the standard. You have a whole bunch of stars. You have, obviously, Michin Niven, Piper Niven as well, Chelsea Green. You have Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, the WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton. Like I said, Chelsea Green, Naomi. And, you know, I feel like ultimately you will see Metaphor come to SmackDown. Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. You have a lot of talent on SmackDown already. Will Alexa Bliss even show up on SmackDown? I feel like she won't. Maybe she'll go to WWE Monday Night Raw. Yeah, B-Fab, a rising star. I personally think that they're kind of doing B-Fab a little dirty there in WWE creative writing. She has every single talent that you can imagine what it takes to hold a title, you know, either tag team, Intercontinental, United States, WWE World Heavyweights. It doesn't really matter in the women's division. She looks like she can hold her own inside the ring, and it kind of sucks that, you know, I would expect more than B-Fab a little bit, but well, not, you know, it's not B-Fab's fault, but you know, but I don't want to see what I don't want to see in terms of the Wyatt Sicks. I don't want to see this whole dog and pony show happen again. You know, they're gonna have to make their debut on SmackDown, but I don't want to see the same destruction. I don't want to see the same creepy, eerie videos passed back and forth with Nikki Cross giving it to Pat McAfee or something like that. Like, I just don't think that's the right thing to do. Well, in this case, it would be Joe Tessitore, Wade Barrett. You already did it. You already did it when they came to WWE, so do not do it when they come to SmackDown. You know, I don't want to see a wash, rinse, and repeat ultimately approach. And their number one storyline that's kind of keeping them linked to WWE SmackDown right now is their storyline with The Miz. Really? Are they going to be super popular chasing the freaking Miz? Is that something that the Wyatt family, something that Uncle Howdy could ultimately wrap their, wrap the storyline head around? I'm not a huge fan of it. Not a huge fan of it whatsoever. This faction, obviously, I feel like is in deep, deep trouble. And I feel like there's only one man that can fix it. Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman recently on WWE Saturday Night's Main Event was seen brutalized by the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. You know, he was beaten up really, really bad. And it got to a point where it was like, how could a man so big look so, at the same time, so vulnerable? And, you know, maybe Eric Rowan will come out. You know, maybe it'll start this new beautiful storyline between the Young Bloodline and the Wyatt Sicks. If you're going to make that happen, I feel like at this point, that's the only thing that would really honestly kind of restore the credibility of this new Wyatt Sicks faction, having them go up against, you know, the Samoan Werewolf, you know, Solo Sikoa, you know, Tomatunga. I know right now they're kind of outmanned. You have 4 guys from the Wyatt Sicks, plus Braun Strowman. Maybe you have Hikuleo Lansanoe coming through, maybe Zila Patu as well. There's a lot of potential, but a lot of people say that this new young bloodline storyline is over. I don't think it's over. I feel like it is going to be going through, you know, it's already set through a minor setback, but I feel like it's going to be revamped some way, somehow, and maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. And I feel like it would be awesome to see them kind of do that. And like I said, Braun Strowman comes back to ultimately help the Wyatt Sicks, kind of restore order here. But like I said, it's, only time will tell. Only time will tell. You know, Triple H could possibly be building up for a nice little feud. But honestly, I feel like WWE writing kind of wants people to know, kind of wants people to believe that Bo Dallas is not his brother Bray Wyatt, is not his brother Bray. And, you know, and people see that. You know, Uncle Howdy, you know, doesn't really hold a candle to what Bray Wyatt was achieving on WWE television, obviously. I feel like Bo Dallas is aware of that as well. I feel like he's kind of honoring his brother's memory as well, but Bray Wyatt was really, honestly, like, you couldn't really take anything away from Bray Wyatt. He was really one of a kind. I don't think anything he could could really do, what Bo could really do, could ultimately kind of create the same pop that Bray did. You know, Bo literally went from somebody who was, you know, on the WWE, got released, not really into professional wrestling, now all of a sudden becoming this, you know, this feared presence in WWE. I don't really get it. You know, and I'm not trying to be a jerk. Like I said, I'm not trying to be a jerk whatsoever. But it's not even Bo's fault. It's not even Bo's fault. You know, it's tough. It's tough 1,010%. You know, did WWE try to bring back something like the Wyatt family, like a storyline like the Wyatt family? Did they bring it back? You know, did they bring that presence, that historic faction that, you know, ultimately died when Bray Wyatt died? Like, and these are all his character. You know, you have Mercy Buzzard. You have, you know, you have the Witch. You have the, you know, what is it? No, damn it. What's the Ramblin' Rabbit? You have all these characters, Uncle Howdy, that Bray Wyatt created, and right now it doesn't really seem like he's I don't know, it doesn't really seem like it's coming to fruition, and it sucks because I do love myself some Bray Wyatt. I do love what Bo Dallas and WWE is trying to do in terms of honor Bray's memory, bringing back all the characters that he created. But as of right now, it just I don't know. Maybe it all died when Bray died. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to sound like a jerk, and you know, it sucks to say. And I know, like, you know, bringing it back, and it's just like, you know, honoring the memory, and it, you know, it's great. I love that. But, you know, if it's going to be done like this for the Wyatt Sicks, you know, where they're on WWE television, then they're off, then they have 6 weeks of just, you know, weird, eerie, spooky, you know, Saw-like videos, you know, The Conjuring, like, if they're trying to just scare people, like, I don't know, I just, you know, if you're going to do something, good, do it. Give it all you got. But if something seems like you're like, oh, we're going to honor someone, it's kind of at the end of the day, you're kind of looking at your coworker and you're like, okay, this kind of sucks. You know, we don't want somebody, you know, we don't want it to end up in like a bad light because, you know, like I said, the Wyatt family, absolutely tremendous faction, you know, back when Wyatt did it, and now with this whole, you know, Wyatt Sicks with Bo Dallas. It's not done yet, so obviously it could be talking out of my arse here, but, you know, it should be pretty cool. You know, I hope that it's pretty cool. I was super excited to find out that this storyline was going to be revamped with the Wyatt Sicks, with potentially adding Alexa Bliss. But as of right now, it doesn't really seem like it's doing good. You know, this is what wrestling is all about. You kind of have your naysayers, your doubters. This is what they want you to do. They want you to doubt it. That's the kayfabe about it. And now they're going to come back bigger, better, and stronger than ever. I hope 1,010% that they come back, shove a sock in my mouth, and they prove me wrong. So, you know. Next, we have Wrestling Power Rankings, guys. We got the top 10 men inside professional wrestling. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage. You join me here in about 20 seconds. So wait, do not go anywhere.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alright, we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. We talk about all the action inside and outside the ring, backstage, curtain calls, rumors, dramas, and updates. We talk about, you know, superstar and active statuses and injury updates. Promotions like WWE to Ring of Honor to TNA to you know, Death Block Professional Wrestling, to absolutely any wrestling promotion that's out there. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show 1,010%. All right, without further ado, let's jump on into our next segment. We have Wrestling Power Rankings. We got the men's, we got the men's top 10. Like I said before, this is kind of like how they ended 2024 and how they're going into 2025. At number 10, we have Zack Sabre Jr., obviously the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. This guy on AEW, well, when he was with AEW, when I saw him, you know, he was fighting. I thought this was going to be a great way for him to, I thought he was a star before he was a star. And I don't want to seem like, I'm like that wrestling know-it-all. But this guy's very gifted. He's very talented. He's very diverse in terms of his move arsenal inside the ring. Something that I love about, Zack Sabre Jr. is that he's not afraid to kind of go up against guys that are totally bigger than him. He has the cojones to kind of stand up to absolutely anybody who challenges him. So at number 10, I got Zack Sabre Jr. Next, we got Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland at number 9 obviously becomes the first ever AEW World Champion African American. And he really took his career to new heights in 2024. Heading into 2025, there's no doubt in my mind that he will probably wrap his head around. I'm going ahead and go out on a limb. I'm going to say he's probably going to be the AEW International Champion or something, maybe like a Ring of Honor World Champion by the end of this year. Maybe by the end of the summer, who knows? And go ahead and mark that in the calendars. If it happens, you'll be like, damn, that guy was right. So at number 9, I got Swerve Strickland. At number 8, I have the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker, former NXT champion, former NXT tag team champions. I ultimately feel like it's, I love what Braun Breaker is doing right now. I love what WWE is doing with this character. Obviously, the son of Rick Steiner and the nephew of Scott Steiner. And, I definitely think it's super cool. I got a chat right here from Mr. Women's Wrestling Fan. Mr. Women's Wrestling Fan. Cody Rhodes fan. Hey, awesome. Preaching to the choir. Definitely love that. Kevin Owens, you suck. I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge Kevin Owens guy as well. So I hope, I hope Cody Rhodes is going to, keep that championship. He climbs up that ladder, climbs up 20 feet to become the undisputed WWE champion. It'd be kind of cool to kind of keep that, winged eagle belt. I love that winged eagle belt. Obviously, I'm, growing up during the golden era and the attitude era. I thought that was super cool. I thought that was pretty badass. I agree 1,010%. Kevin Owens, you suck. Moving on. So now at number 7, I got Trick Williams, the former WWE NXT World Heavyweight Champion. He did great things in 2024. He really honestly put NXT on the map. He is the face of NXT. You've had title runs with like Ethan Page, like you're having right now with Oba Femi. I would rather see, from a business standpoint, if I was in charge of NXT, I would rather see Oba go up to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown rather than Trick Williams. Trick Williams has such a flair about him, has such a fire, has such an in-your-face attitude, all the charisma, all the enthusiasm it takes to become, to stay, to maintain, but ultimately to put your brand on the map. He has all that. He has the face. He's great. He's great. The reason why they decided to take, put them Oba on the map, maybe it'll come to fruition, when they kind of do a little, when they have their rematch. But at number 7, I got Trick Williams. At number 6, I got Moose. I love Moose, from the TNA World Heavyweight Champion to the X Division Champion. I'm not a huge fan of him being the X Division Champion because I feel like this guy's, literally like a brick house. He's a brick house. Like, this guy, he doesn't really belong in the X Division. But he deserves a title, I give it to him. I think that's cool and all. But with with Mustafa Ali coming back to TNA, declaring that he signed another contract, Mustafa Ali had the belt for quite some time. But I would rather see people like that go at it. I don't want to see Moose completely beat the crap out of anybody who gets in his way, because that's the perception of it. That's the overall narrative that when you see Moose going, he steps into the ring taking on somebody like Ace Austin or something like that. Which he did. You know what I mean? But he just looks this over towering, over intimidated, this dominant presence inside the ring. He's a world champion. He's not an X Division champion, but obviously throwing some good things his way. At number 5, we got Gunther. What can I really say about this guy, Gunther, except for that he's one of the best WWE superstars right now. The NXT UK champion, the King of the Ring, World Heavyweight champion, Intercontinental champion at 666 days. I heard on WWE SmackDown that this guy has literally been champion 80% of his career. That's something that's absolutely unfathomable. That's something that's absolutely has not been reached. Gunther right now is definitely, he's one of the best there is, and he's the future of WWE, and WWE absolutely wants to make this guy a star because he's good on the mic. He does great wrestling matches. He cuts good promos. He is a WWE superstar. So at number 5, I got my man Gunther. At number 4, of course, we have Say His Name and He Appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. The TNA World Heavyweight Champion Joe Hendry finally, and he did some great things in 2024 as well. He's had some, he had a chance at Slammiversary. He had a chance for the WWE NXT World Heavyweight Championship against Ethan Page, and his debut on NXT was huge. This guy is literally an international star, and it popped as soon as he stepped onto WWE soil. This huge partnership between NXT and TNA is going to do absolute wonders, and someone who's going to benefit off it the most is one of the best, one of the coolest. It's cool to believe in Joe Hendry. It's cool. It's amazing. It's cool to be a Joe Hendry fan, guys. Hey, it's okay. Buy a couple shirts or two, I'm like this close to buying a shirt if I had extra money. But I live in Southern California where, milk costs like $5 a gallon. And it's absolute horrible. It's dog crap. And, I might run for president one of these days. And then my slogan's going to be, I believe in Eric. I'm just kidding. No. Moving on. So at number 5, we have Joe Hendry. At number 4, I have Oba. Longest reigning WWE NXT champion, North American champion, and now he's the NXT champion. He's gonna be successful for the future. He's young, he's intricate, he has this diabolical presence inside the ring that he can really tear his opponent apart from limb, and you can't help but to look at it and be like, you know what? I feel like WWE did such a great job, picking up this prospect from Nigeria, Obafemi, and obviously the future of WWE and the future is here on NXT. So at number 2, damn it, what happened to my number 2? At number 2, I got Jon Moxley. The AEW World Champion, 2-time AEW World Heavyweight Champion. This guy is literally holding AEW storylines, by the throat. He's making AEW interesting to watch. He really, really is. And when him and the Death Riders came on the scene, how much pop it had from the fans, how much, all this star power with Wheeler Yuta, the Bachelor Pack, and Claudio Castagnoli and Marina Shafir. The EVPs, Matthew Nicholas Jackson, straight up, they ditched their storyline with Kazuchika Okada, the AEW Continental Champion, and the former AEW TNT Champion, Jack Perry. They completely ditched that storyline. They were running rampant all over AEW, and then Jon Moxley, defeated Daniel Bryan for that championship, and then bam, all of a sudden they take over AEW. I'm not saying he's the sole reason why AEW is kind of staying afloat. I don't want to say that, but he's a pretty damn good reason why. So, Jon Moxley at number 2. Number 1, of course, we have Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble back-to-back, finishing his story, leaving WWE only to come back a superstar, becoming a WWE Undisputed Champion. He's had his title defenses, and I ultimately feel like he will keep this belt longer than a lot of people do anticipate. But, Cody Rhodes, my number one male wrestler of 2024, and of course at number 1 heading into 2025. All right, so guys, do not go anywhere. We did the men. Now we're going to talk about these amazing, lovely, amazing women. We got the top 10 women power rankings when we come back. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage. Join me here in about 25 seconds. So hey, do not go absolutely anywhere. Rider. We are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday, Friday, on the GSMC Sports Network, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, dramas, and updates. We talk about, contract negotiations amongst stars, extensions, and new signings. We got WWE talk, we got TNA, we got Ring of Honor, we have NJPW, we got game-changing wrestling as well, Deathlock Professional Wrestling, if it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling. We talk about it here on this show 1,010%, so make sure you guys Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Make sure you guys follow the show, follow the network, so you guys get some notifications when our shows go live. All right, so without further ado, we got Wrestling Power Rankings. We got the top 10 amazing women inside the world of professional wrestling. Like I said, in terms of the men, it's kind of like the same dealio we got here. We have them, leaving 2024. The success that they ultimately kind of left, there heading into 2025. At number 10, I got Tiffany Stratton. She could have been a little bit higher. But recently on WWE SmackDown, just the pop around her, she doesn't really seem like that WWE Women's Champion who cashed in to become champion. She doesn't have that same flair, and it could just be me, but I feel like right now WWE storyline is kind of taking that into consideration, being like, did we really make the right move having Tiffany Stratton dethrone Nia Jax as the Women's Champion? I feel like they did, and I wanted Tiffany Stratton to become one of the best Money in the Bank cash-ins in the world, and it happened. But at number 10, I got Tiffany Stratton. I feel like she's super impressive, and sky's the limit. Sky is the limit, honestly. For at number 10, we got It's Tiffy Time. At number 9, we have the TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich. Obviously, Masha, she had her ups and downs in 2024. She had her ups and downs, with the whole thing with Alicia Edwards, and then becoming face, and then, dethroning the juggernaut TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace. And right now, she's literally on top of the world. Right now, Cora Jade from WWE NXT wants a piece of that title, which would be great for both of those superstars. But right now, Masha Slamovich seems like she's kicking arse, she's taking names, and she's kind of setting herself up to become an immensely talented, superstar run heading toward the future of 2025. Does she end 2025 the TNA Knockouts World Champion? That's another conversation, neither here nor there. But as of right now, we are throwing flowers to the TNA Knockouts champion, Masha Slamovich. All right, on number 8, I have the inaugural WWE Women's United States Champion, Chelsea Green. Much like I see with Tiffany Stratton. And like I said, is it this day and age in terms of WWE that you kind of look at somebody with the belt where you're like, you know what, I don't feel like they're going to hold that title for very long. Chelsea Green, she's a walking, talking, in-your-face attitude, spoiled little brat promo, and she's great at it. She's the best at it. But inside the ring, like if she won flat out against Michin without the help of Piper Niven, maybe I would have a little bit of a different discourse in terms of the world of professional wrestling. But right now, I don't see Chelsea Green being that much of a huge, and I'm not trying to sound like a jerk because, she's great. She's great. She really is great. And like I said, and she literally won this title about a month ago. Maybe it's going to take a little bit more time. Maybe it needs to set in a little bit. But as of right now, I just don't see her as that main big title holder face that WWE ultimately wanted to happen when they put the title on her. But like I said, maybe it's just going to take a little bit more time. I am a huge believer in Chelsea Green. And, obviously, I'm throwing her flowers, her being at number 8. At number 7, we have Nia Jax, the Queen of the Ring, WWE Women's Champion. I did a segment once that her title runs always seem like they are cut short to kind of put over other superstars. And I feel like it's a great example of what happened with Tiffany Stratton. I love Tiffany Stratton, and I feel like it is indeed, in fact, Tiffy time. But Nia Jax was such a great champion. She was such a dominant presence, and If Tiffany Stratton defeated Nia Jax, I feel like if she's going to go on to WrestleMania to fight somebody right now, they kind of have her going up against Charlotte Flair in the works. She's gonna have to defeat her. If Charlotte Flair comes out to WrestleMania and just makes a mockery of the WWE Women's Championship on SmackDown by defeating Tiffany Stratton, I gotta be honest, I'm gonna be a little upset. I'll be like, okay, then why didn't you just keep the belt on Nia, have Nia go head to head with Charlotte Flair, and then at the end of WrestleMania you have Tiffany Stratton running down the ramp with the briefcase. Held it till then. Instead, you did it on the first episode of WWE SmackDown. That was 3 hours. And I know WWE probably did that on purpose. But, if you're going to have Tiffany Stratton lose, I don't know. I don't know, but we shall find out. We shall find out. At number 6, we have the former 2-time WWE NXT Women's World Champion, Roxanne Perez. This girl had one hell of a freaking year. Roxanne Perez, literally, she ran the gauntlet. WWE NXT basically was like, all right, Roxanne, you're our champion. We're going to open all these doors. Who comes in first? Julia, bam. Jordan Grace comes in, bam. Stephanie Vaquer, bam. You have the best women's division inside professional wrestling, like literally forcing their names down your throat. And you're just there trying to protect yourself. So Roxanne Perez, obviously, I wanted to put her higher on this list, but obviously there's a lot of other superstars that I kind of had to put a little bit, kind of put forward or higher than Roxanne Perez. But this girl literally took on a lot of international talent. She took on the best that women's wrestling has to offer, retain her title, and she did it with this huge smug smile on her face. Obviously, she's one of the best to do it on the mic, and I have high hopes for her. I do have high hopes for her. She's going to be a WWE Women's Champion, a WWE Women's World Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental United States, you name it. You put her on any SmackDown, any Raw, or any wrestling roster, and she automatically has that star power to hold, maintain, but most importantly, build a connection with the fans, whether if it's a heel. I haven't seen, her really that babyface, but it'd be interesting to see her, create a babyface, championship run. That'd be pretty cool. But I don't know. I feel like right now she's just the greatest heel in NXT women's history. I gotta be honest, and I'm not trying to play favorites here because I feel like she's gifted, and I feel like as a wrestling fan, I really this year in 2024 dug into WWE NXT. So maybe it might be a little biased here, but overall, this is one of my favorite women's wrestlers of all time. And I've been there, done that, I've seen that. With Lita, Trish Stratus, Victoria. I've seen the Bella Twins. I've seen AJ Lee, and I feel like she's kind of getting her name up there to the point where she's only 23 years old. Holy smokes, that's insane. This girl is literally having success ooze from every single muscle of her body, and she's only going to have more success heading into the future. So throw in some flowers to the former 2-time WWE NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez. At number 5, of course, I had to do it. I'm sorry, Roxanne Perez. I doubt you're watching this. But we got Julia. Julia, the Pretty Madness. She's achieved success every single place she's gone. Internationally, with Stardom. Now on WWE NXT, she's winning titles here and there and here and there. You can't help but to believe that WWE, with this new intervention being, of course, a partnership with Monday Night Raw streaming live on Netflix. Netflix can be accessed through 1,000 or more countries. I know WWE is live in over 180 countries. I feel like with the addition, with the push of all the partners, of everybody on the board in terms of Netflix, when they decided to create this partnership with WWE and be like, yeah, you know what, let's let these guys stream. It's going to be awesome. And a lot of people we're going to have a lot more wrestling fans, and I love it. I absolutely love it because I've been a huge dork for professional wrestling my whole entire life. Really, honestly, professional wrestling, it's the glue for strangers, and I know that might not make a lot of sense, and I'm going to tell a little story here. A little side note, one time I took my kids to Disneyland, And I was standing in line, and I was like, man, you know how those long rides are. You know how those long lines, oh, we have a 45-minute wait, and then somebody with a little keychain or a lanyard's like, okay, this is for you. And it's like, okay, what's this for? Oh, you're our hour wait line, like, marker. So when you get there, it's going to be like, oh, it's going to be an hour late now. So you're like, oh, cool, thanks. One time when I went to Disneyland, I saw this guy with I was wearing a Seth Rollins shirt. I was wearing a Seth Rollins shirt, and the other guy was wearing I think he was wearing a Bret the Hitman Hart. I think it was. I'm not too sure. Then he came up to me, and he was like, hey. And I was like, oh, crap. Did I cut this guy in line or something like that? Did I, like, step on his popcorn? Is there Mickey Mouse ears somewhere under me? And then he started talking to me about professional wrestling. He's like, hey, man, do you think Seth Rollins is going to... I think it was at the time where he was fighting... I think he was fighting Brock Lesnar. I'm not too sure. And I was like... Dude, and then we started talking wrestling. We were babbling about like little freaking schoolgirls about professional wrestling, having a good time. It got to the point where we got to the front of the line, and I didn't want to go to the ride. I was like, dude, honestly, this conversation we're having in this long ass line is more fun than this. Did I seriously wait an hour for like the teacups right now? I'm just kidding. No, but no, it's cool. It's super cool to run into a wrestling fan. I definitely love it. And with WWE going more international, I feel like it's gonna create more connection between people, and I feel like it's super awesome. At number 4, I got Lyra Valkyria, NXT champion. She was the runner-up with the women's Queen of the Ring, obviously losing up against Nia Jax. But she is the WWE inaugural Intercontinental Champion, and I feel like there's nobody better to represent that title than Lyra Valkyria. At number 3, we got Mercedes Moné. She's holding 4 titles right now, and I love myself some Mercedes Moné. When she signed with AEW, when she made her debut at Big Business, I knew that us as AEW fans were in for one hell of a ride, and then having her just win title after title after title, dethroning Stephanie Vaquer, beating Willow of Nightingale, and now Mina Shirakawa, I'm nothing against Mercedes. I feel like this is nothing against Mercedes whatsoever. But ever since she kind of came onto professional wrestling in terms of AEW, the women's division, I feel like it's kind of taking a hit. But then again, this could be this could definitely be my shiz. This could be me just kind of thinking something more. Maybe I'm just pissed off that Mercedes Moné is kicking ass. Maybe, who knows, my biases. But I don't know. I feel like when Willow of Nightingale was the championship holder obviously the TBS champion. I kind of liked it. Because you have these women going to matches not really necessarily knowing the outcome. It's to the point where like Mercedes Moné, she takes on a superstar, and I'm like, okay, now they're going to lose their title to Mercedes Moné, or there's no way Mercedes Moné is going to drop that TBS championship to X, Y, and Z. So, but then again, that could damn near just show that Mercedes Moné is, and I've advocated on this show over and over and over again. You have the spark. You have 1,010%. You have exactly what it takes to become a professional wrestler and rule it and totally kick ass at it. So why am I pissed off? Why am I upset? Why am I looking at this amazing wrestler and being like, oh, the only comparison that I can make, if all you guys are if NFL fans right now, Mercedes Moné is the Patrick Mahomes of professional wrestling. I'm like, you just keep gabbling titles after titles and titles. And, that's that perfect, that's that heel form that she does so freaking well. And you hate it, but guess what? You hating it means that she's doing her freaking job. So Mercedes Moné, 1,010%. I gotta throw flowers at number 3 with my women's top 10. Number 2, we have Rhea Ripley regaining her WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I have a chat from Mr. Women's Wrestling Fan. Well, I gotta go up here. Love Mercedes Moné. Like I said, I do too. Mariah May, number 1. I do too. I think Mariah May is definitely, I think she's cool. I wish that Toni Storm, could come back to WWE. She would do great in WWE. I would definitely I feel like SmackDown, the women's division, is decent. On Raw, they need immense help. They need so much help in the women's division on Monday Night Raw. The Pure Fusion Collective, not really doing well. Damage Control, kind of the only rising star is probably Io Sky. Love Dakota Kai. Nothing against Dakota Kai. But I feel like right now you kind of have, literally Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, their feud, literally kept women's wrestling on Monday Night Raw kind of relevant. Mercedes Moné fan in the house. That's awesome. That's cool. Mercedes Moné, she's cool. I'm not a huge fan of her, but then again, that just means that she's doing her job well. So, anyways, back to Rhea Ripley. At number 2, I got Rhea Ripley. Obviously, everything that's going down with her, with these storylines, and she's the future of WWE. She's young, she's talented, has a huge dominance inside the ring, but most importantly, and something that a lot of people kind of glance over in terms of professional wrestling, is the fact that, Rhea Ripley comes in, she looks unbeatable, but she really, she shines, but at the same time, she helps her opponent shine too. It doesn't matter if it's Liv Morgan. It doesn't matter if it's Bayley. It doesn't matter if it's somebody like Io Sky or Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, or everybody, ABC or all above. She literally makes her competition look like they belong in a WWE ring. That is the reason why she keeps getting the title. That is exactly why Triple H Paul Levesque knows that he could definitely trust. He can ride with Rhea Ripley in terms of knowing that the women's division is on good, is on a good pedestal. Knowing that Rhea Ripley can definitely do that. Harley, I got another quote. I got another chat. We got Harley Cameron is beautiful. She's pretty good looking. That spot in terms of what she did in AEW with the music. I was like, damn. Like I was taking notes and I was watching AEW Dynamite, and but when Harley Cameron came out with the guitar and singing and stuff like that, I gotta be honest, I was like, dude, what the hell? Where the hell did this come from? This girl's extremely talented. This girl can straight up be like a Disney Channel mom. She could be like an actress or something like that. So, definitely think Harley Cameron, she has a future in AEW. She's not, Mercedes Moné brought this out that she has not yet won a match in AEW soil on Dynamite Live TV. So, obviously still a little bit in terms of her wrestling career. But in terms of outside talents, this girl is really honestly your total package. And it's Tiffy time. It is Tiffy time. All right, guys, we got my number 1. I got to say Athena. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to apologize. When she was in WWE NXT Ember Moon, she was impressive. She moved to WWE, and a lot of talent that suffered, like Keith Lee, like Aleister Black, like Athena, like a lot of young NXT stars that were under the Triple H Black and Gold label, and then you bring them up to Vince McMahon's storyline on SmackDown and Raw back in 2022, 2021. They got screwed over. They literally glanced over some of the best wrestling talent inside the whole entire freaking world. And Athena comes to Ring of Honor. Now she is one of the longest reigning, not just women's Ring of Honor champion, Ring of Honor champions just as a whole. So at number 1, you gotta definitely acknowledge everything that Athena is doing on Ring of Honor. And I feel like she's super badass, and she's gonna achieve more success. I don't see anybody really dethroning this girl. I honestly, at this point, I feel like it wouldn't make any sense unless it's just like giant grand gesture. But at this point, if Athena's, she's gone up against the best Ring of Honor has to offer. If you have somebody from AEW possibly, wanting to come down to fight, Athena, this could definitely be a nice little storyline. I got a chat right here by Mr. Women's Wrestling Fan. Yes, Ember Moon, I have an action figure of her. That's cool. That's awesome. I would love an action figure of Ember Moon, because she was great. She was literally one of my favorite wrestlers to watch, kind of coming into WWE. It was super cool. I love her, I think it was the Lunar Eclipse. I think that's her finishing move, when she jumps off the top rope and kind of hits him with like a Stone Cold Stunner. I thought that was freaking badass. I thought that was super cool. So at number 1, heading into 2025 and at the end of December 2024, my number 1 women's wrestler in the world has got to be the Ring of Honor World Champion Athena. So, Throw me flowers. Love it. Like it. Love it. You don't like it, obviously. Hit me up in the chat. Tell me what I've done wrong. Give me your top 10 women, your top 10 men in professional wrestling so we can talk about it. All right, guys. So, hey, that's it for me today. I hope you guys had an amazing time. I hope you guys had a fun time watching the program. Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow us on Twitter /X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for more content and updates. And like I always say, if I have not made you a wrestling fan by now, we got all these other podcasts. We got college sports. We got football. We got all around sports. We got hockey, baseball, basketball, you name it, tennis, you name it. We talk about it here on this show, on this broadcasting network, on this YouTube channel. So make sure you guys, don't miss out. I give you the Eric Rodriguez guarantee that you will never, ever, ever regret subscribing to such an amazing, such a diverse network in terms of sports and just all around podcast. So, make sure you guys, hit it up. All right, guys. So, like I said, that's it for me today. Stay beautiful, but most importantly, love you.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn it.